Welcome to the Designated Drinker Show, the podcast that's raising the bar on craft cocktails. I am your host, Louise Solis, and with me is my very, very talented friend who can kick my New Year's resolutions right to the curb with a single shake of the shaker tin. It's Mixtress DC Gina.
Hi, Louise. Can you believe we're at the end of this year?
I know. At the end of the year, looking at a new... Where did the time go?
I don't know. I still feel like I'm in a vortex of 2020. I haven't gotten out yet. I don't know.
It just feels like just like yesterday. It was September.
Right?
Right.
Like it was still warm out or something.
Exactly. But it is not. But it is New Year's. And with New Year's comes a lot of traditions, right? Everyone has their own. Maybe it's counting down to midnight, maybe, kissing your sweetheart. And I know there are people who like bang pots and pans and jump on the couch, which I don't get. But most of us will raise a glass, right? And offer a toast.
Fireworks.
So if you, oh, well, yeah, that too. You're right.
That's my favorite.
So don't burn anything though. But while you're toasting, if you don't have do you have a toast that you go to? Do you have your
Me?
like one that? Yeah.
Yeah, always. I toast my family, health, family, and happiness every time. That's my favorite toast. And then usually like open a bottle of something bubbly.
Nice.
Since I've been 21 or 18, I've been opening bubbly, whatever. You should,
Exactly.
Drink responsibly, people.
You were 21 somewhere in the world,
Yes.
right?
Or my metaphysical world, whatever.
There you go. All right. So for those who don't have a toast, here's a few that, you might want to consider. Maybe you want to change yours up a little bit, Gina. Who knows? Here we go. One is, may your troubles during the coming year be short as your New Year's resolution. Kind of sounds like mine. Here's to those who've seen us at our best, seen us at our worst, and cannot tell the difference. I like that one. May we be who our dogs think we are.
That's funny.
That's definitely true for me.
I like that one.
Yeah, I know. Here's champagne to our real friends and real pain to our sham friends.
I can't say that drunk.
Yeah, me neither.
But I can't say
I
it drunk.
barely say it sober.
It would be one of those things where I just would be like, blah, blah, blah. And people be like, she's shit-faced. Like, no, I just can't rhyme.
Yeah. So we'll just scratch our own right off the list. May the best day of your past be the worst day of your future.
Oh, that's really cute.
But if you flip it and you get it wrong, you screw it all up.
No, I don't know. I have to probably stick to what I know.
Yeah.
But I like all of these. Yeah.
I think I'd have to write that one on my palm. And then last but not least, cheers to a new year and another chance for us to get it right. I think that's the best thing about New Year's, right? The hope for a new, you can like clean the slate and start fresh, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I say that every year.
Yeah, but I think as long as you wrap it up in goodwill, that's, I think, the positive part, right? So.
My every year diet resolution, and I'm like, oh, this is the year. It's never the fucking year.
I know. That year, it's going to come someday.
Yeah, it's going to come someday when I'm in the casket and I can't stop
Just like
eating.
my prince.
There you go. You can't eat when you're dead.
No kidding.
What can you do?
So all this chitter chatter about goodwill brings me to today's designated drinker, who I have no doubt is a ton of fun at a New Year's Eve party, for any party for that matter. You may have seen him competing and winning on Beat Bobby Flay and Guy's Grocery Games on the Food Network. Please welcome to the show celebrity chef Christain International Gill.
Hi, hello. Hi, hello. Hello, hi. Hi, hello.
Welcome.
Thank you, ladies.
Oh my gosh. Such a cutie. I'm so glad you're finally here.
I know, I was going to say, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and Gina, weren't you on that Guy's Grocery Game? Does that mean Christain
I
beat you?
was.
Holy cow.
Yeah, this past summer we did a Tournament of Champions, a summer tournament for 5 weeks on the Food Network.
It was
Good
grueling.
Lord.
You gave me a run for my money, so.
I tried.
Yep.
As the bagel lady.
The bagel.
Where is Ronica? As the fucking bagel lady, Ronica.
Bagel lady. The bagel
I
lady.
hope she's listening to this. That she's so crispy fucking
The
bagel
bagel
lady
lady.
bullshit.
The bagel lady. Oh, bagel lady. Bagel lady beat us in week 4. It's all good.
Yes, it was fun. We had a great time. Christian won, which we all, everybody watched here on DC. Everybody did watch the episode at our bar,
Of course.
and everybody on our show and on Instagram, everyone knew. So now you're finally here. So now the questions are free. Louise, what's the first question? I feel like.
Well,
Other than
I
that he beat me on the show, that should not be the question.
Did everyone boo in your bar when I won?
No,
Okay.
no, you're super sweet, and I was like super excited for you. So no, of course not. Christian has the greatest video of me ever right after we finished the show. And we had so much to drink. Too much to drink, right?
You were the designated drinker that night. That was you.
Oh, fuck yes, I was. And Christian, the winner, was the designated babysitter. And I was literally, and I always say to everybody, I'm like, if you can't drink and be happy, don't drink. It's the funniest thing. I'm like basically a weeble wobble in the street. And I'm like, Christian, I just love you. You're so nice. Or whatever crazy shit came out of my mouth.
There were so many things, and you were just like, no, oh yeah, guys, oh, Christian, I love you. And I'm like, they were there. And I was trying to be a gentleman and walk on the outside, like closest to the road. And then you were just in the road. Like I turned around and you were in the middle of the road, walking down the middle of the road back to the hotel. And I was just like, Tina, no, Jay. You were like, fine, I'm fine.
I was like, that's the whole way.
It was great. It was a good time. And then she showed Crispy was a cryy mess because she's the cryy drinker. And then you had Dan, who's the apologetic drinker. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, seriously, right? I was just like, then you had Christian, who literally was like, oh, these people are fucking mess. Make sure they all live.
I wanted to make sure everyone made it home safe so we could get in the van the next day. That was my goal. Because you all started drinking an hour, 2 hours before I got there because I had to go into interviews. Yep. And so it was. I got there and they were like, Christian, fuck you. Yeah, we love you.
Christian, what?
Good times.
Yeah, I know. You're not allowed to say anything. So just imagine you're out celebrating, right? But you can't tell anybody what you're celebrating, why you think it's so funny. And you can't say a word, right? So it's almost just going looking at each other like, you what? I don't even know. It's fucking stupid. But it was so much fun.
The funniest thing is that the crew knew you guys were going to be on, knew there would be a lot of talk about the grocery games. The number one question everyone asked me is, are all the products on the shelf real?
Yes.
They're fully stocked shelves. Yeah, it was one of those things where like, do you think they're fully? I'm like, I bet you they are. Because when I watch, I try to, you can obviously see through, if you watch as an art director, you can see where they cheat some stuff. But yeah, that's the number one question of all the things. I had people go, find out if all the food is real on the shelf.
All of it's real. They tell you don't take from the top shelf because that's the filler shelves. Like all of that product is generally over a year old. It's just filler. Don't take from there. And then, of course, Veronica, who took from there? Veronica did. Veronica took from the top shelf.
I did.
You did?
Oh, you did too?
I did. So the camera guy in the last episode, he was like, it's right there. And it was in front of me. And I just grabbed it and I took from the wrong one too. But we both did it. And then I had to wait for my graham crackers to come. And yeah, that sucked.
For your cobbler?
The graham crackers. Yes. That was so just...
Oh, it's so hard. It was so fun. And also, what a fucking... I'm literally going to take archery lessons now.
I mean, I thought we all cleaned up pretty well. Like, I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I didn't do nearly as well as I wanted to. And I was just like, this is stupid. Like, I was like, camp is dumb. Like, Camp Fieri is dumb. Go sit on a canoe.
So hard.
So is it really quick fire? Do they tell you? Do you have any idea what you might be cooking? You have no prep time? It's really like dance, baby, dance.
That's why I made constipated faces every episode when we're standing there, and I'm just like, I'm just waiting for him to say something, some nonsense about, like, oh, it's this, but with a twist. And like, I'm just waiting. I'm just anxious, like just a ball of anxiety. And then he says whatever it is, and it's like, all right, let's go. Like, and it really is. Go.
When they had you do the little fish out of the tank at first, I was like, I wasn't like paying attention. I was like looking away, and I went and I looked, and I was like, they're not having them eat like. And then I didn't realize they were fake fish. Is what it boiled down to. I was like, oh, they're fake fish.
They looked real.
Because again, I was like grabbing something. I looked away or something, and I was like, wait, what? And so, that was fun. Did you get the fish
I
you
loved
wanted?
that last episode. It was hard, but it was fun. Me?
Yeah.
I got wait, what did you get, Christian? You got rockfish.
I got
Salmon,
rockfish.
right? Oh, rockfish.
And I got salmon. And then that's when
Yeah.
I like lost my mind. I was like, now what you guys didn't see was I talked a lot of shit to Veronica right as soon as I got that fish. I was like, look who's laughing now, the bagel lady with the salmon, blah, blah, blah. I went fucking nuts. I was like, great. There was no way I was getting kicked off with salmon. Not a fucking chance in hell. I've been cooking salmon every day for 10 straight years. You were never going to kick me off with that fish. Any other fish? Fucking sure. That fish, not a chance. There's nothing I can't do to that fish, for sure. That was so funny. I was fucking dying. But rockfish is our home fish here in Maryland for the bay. So that was even funnier when you got rockfish. I was like, oh, I love rockfish. So good.
I wanted catfish, but I settled. Like, rockfish was similar enough in terms of what I was going to do to it. I knew I was going to fry it from the moment that I saw fish. Like, I was like, I'm doing like southern fried, buttermilk fried fish. No matter what it is, that's what I'm doing. I might just change like how much of dredge I use, like, but I knew I was going to fry it no matter what. So I was happy with it.
Cool. Well, you won.
So I have a question. Do you think that on the show, and like Christian gave me a lot of advice when I was on the show because he's been doing these shows before. Like I only did one cooking show prior, and Christian had a lot more experience because you were on Guy's Next Big Project, right? How many weeks was that again?
6
weeks, right? So he had a lot. It was like he's like, whatever you think. He's like, whatever you think. He's like, you need to put more seasoning. I'm like, okay. He's like, whatever you think, just do more. And I'm like, okay. And literally the first episode, they're like, you don't have enough salt on this. I'm like, right. Gotta do more on this. So so Christian, I have a question. Do you think now, like, you've been on Beat Bobby Flay and won, and obviously Guys Grocery Game, like all over the place. Do you really think there's a way to like get on these shows and literally just be like, put it in your face, like here's the formula, that's how you're getting to the minimum of the finals? Like, do you think there's a bit of luck, or do you think it's all just strategy? Or not luck. Is it about talent or strategy?
Yeah, it's definitely talent. I think that part of the reason that I've been like had the opportunity to go on so many shows is because my theater background, I have a lot of tech background in theater. And so I vibe with all the production crew so much. Like I appreciate what they do and appreciate the time it takes for them to do it. And so like I spend extra time on set, like getting to know everyone's names and making sure that like whoever my camera operators are, I know their names, and then I try to set them up and tell them like what I'm about to do before I do it, so they have time to like stage themselves for shots. And I think it's like the courtesy, the common courtesy I have with production, and that like production respect, plus just being not a drama queen on set. I think those help with the talent part. Like it doesn't really matter what they throw in front of me. Like I'm not gonna I can't win. I never win them all, but like I always do my best. And I always make sure, like I told you, I always season like to oblivion, and then I just try to give them the best. Like I try to think about the best material. Yeah, give them the best material I can. Yeah. And I think that's it.
I think that's brilliant strategy, because then that means that's a lot of good footage. It's a lot of good footage. So it works because when the editors are sitting there and they have all this footage that, I did see there was a mistake in I think it was the second to the last one, or it's the last one. And they did this overhead shot, and you guys are standing in completely different places, and then they cut and you were in different places. Like, I love watching for that stuff. But I think, to your point, I think it's great that if you make the production people, and especially the cameramen, your friends, absolutely, you're right, because then they're getting the best footage. So, and Yeah.
And
Being an asshole never gets you anywhere.
I've seen many people come and go on these shows being an asshole, and it just doesn't help. Also, the microphone is always on. As soon as they put the mic on you, it's on. Because like I had people, I think Jonathan, was it Jonathan? There were a couple people on the show and on other shows that like as soon as a mic goes on, I stop talking. Like I'm my normal self, and then when the mic comes on, I just don't talk anymore. And they're like, "You're all right." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And they're like, "Well, what's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh, my mic's on." And they're like, "It's not on." And I'm like, yes, it is. Like they're listening to us right now. So keep talking shit about whatever it is. They'll make sure that that's what you have to use. You're like, don't don't talk a bunch of mess because it's not going to play out in your favor. Like just be respectful and just switch into game mode.
Yeah. So you mentioned your drama background. When did you get this cooking bug? When did this all start for you? Just in your blood?
Well, I was a wee lad back in the days of Kentucky. I was my ma and my grandma, my mom, my dad. I was like 6, 7 years old and cooking in my grandmother's kitchen and my mom's kitchen, and just like getting to cook with my mom and grandmother was really like where the like culinary itch came from. And then I just never really strayed too far away from a commercial kitchen. Like my first real job was my first under the counter job when I was like 14. I worked for a carnival company, like an inflatable rides and catering company out of Kentucky, out of Lexington. And then I was learning how to make like, sausage and peppers and Philly cheesesteak and funnel cake, like all the carny food when I was like 14. And then I worked for Barnes and Noble's Starbucks cafe. And like back in the day, like we actually like did make food. Like we didn't make everything, but we did make some food. And then I just never strayed away from a kitchen. Like even when I was in college, I still worked at Carrabba's, worked at Outback, Bonefish, like Disney, all the things.
You worked at Disney?
Yep, like 4 years.
What?
We didn't get to talk about this.
Which Disney? Where? California?
Deciding who was the designated drinker of the day every night. So like, we don't have time.
First of all, I went out one night with you guys. 2 nights. One night I went out. I stayed sober the entire time. I was terrified, Christian. I was so afraid that after all that shit was talked about me that I wasn't going to make it to the finals. That's all I cared about. Would I make it to be the last 3?
You made it.
That was it. I was like, once I got there, I was like, I am going to breathe.
You crushed it. No, you made it. You won money on the way. Like literally, it was the 3 people that were in the finals were the 3 that won throughout the tournament. Like it was dope. It was a dope time.
Dan, but hold on. I want to go back to Disney for a minute. Which Disney did you work in?
Orlando.
Where? Epcot? Where'd you work?
Everywhere. No joke. I'm not even being vague and generalized I'm not vague booking you to vague book you. I literally worked everywhere. Like I originally went there. I was in Fort Wilderness and Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Review, the longest running dinner show in America. I was there. America.
You were singing like you were a performer?
No, I was in back of house. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I wasn't pretty enough to be on stage at Disney. That's why I went back to food. Like I originally went to college for theater, but then I went back to food because I wasn't pretty enough for all of the Disney things.
Well, I think you're pretty. I was gonna say, I'm like, Christian, if you seriously were like in a fucking show, I was gonna like lose my mind. I
did do shows, but like I was not a main cast member by any means. On like main stage or anything, on like Main Street or any of that stuff. Like I was still cast member and did like other things, but I never amounted to Prince Charming.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question about Disney, and then I'll stop. My last question about Disney. So Epcot blows my mind. How many people they feed? It's fucking mind-boggling. Is it like they really do make everything there, right? Nothing comes in frozen to Disney, right?
No, we make everything.
I don't mean that. I mean like sauces and stuff. They have chefs on site.
You make everything everywhere. Like everything is made from scratch, essentially. Like, clearly like we're not making soy sauce. I say we as if I'm still there. The brain, it's the microchip in my brain. It just doesn't turn off.
It's hard to shake a cult.
Yeah, hard to shake it. The mouse. No, everything's made fresh. Like we made barbecue sauce. I made cornbread. I couldn't tell you, it sounds racist, but I did. I made a lot of cornbread. Um, I got out of making cornbread real quick because I didn't think that um, I didn't think that the cornbread should be sweet, and Disney cornbread is like really sweet and super popular for being so sweet. So like one day I just made it with too much salt. By my standards, it was the right amount of salt for the South, but for them, because Florida's not the South, and then they were like, "Who made this wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, I did. You're not making cornbread anymore. Thank you. Don't wanna."
So you got your way. Perfect.
I'm sure I got my way. I didn't get to work in any of the Four Diamond kitchens for a while because I was being insolent, but got my way.
I was obsessed with, I didn't love Disney, like as in just in Disney itself, but like I couldn't fucking believe the amount of food that went out there. It was mind boggling to me. Especially at Epcot.
The flower show, like the food and wine at Epcot with all the flowers.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot. And like it's all made from scratch. Like, yeah, it's a lot.
Wow.
That's what I went there one year and I was like, holy shit. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. And then the French pastries and all that shit. And of course I asked, I'm like, this is all made here? They're like, yeah. I'm like, they're fucking lying. And then you're like, no, it is. It's nuts. Yeah. All right, sorry. We shouldn't be just talking about, I don't know, Louise. I can talk about Disney all these places all day. I think we should do.
No, I think it's really interesting if you think about the fact that, like, Christian, from after getting to know you a little bit, it's really interesting how you truly are at the crossroads of. I mean, when you watch you on TV, you can obviously see you have a natural flair, a very you're made for TV, basically, personality, and then you're obviously incredibly talented in cooking. It just seems like it's a perfect place for you. It seems like a really great place, and it's great to watch. You make like Gina, you both are really great to watch. Like, it's fun to see you have a persona and you're there and it's engaging and it's not dry. You can tell you really want to win. I think it's great. I think don't take her away from me, but I think you're both great for this space.
Thank you. No, she is. She's pretty badass.
So do you think you're going to continue in it?
I'm going to do my best. I mean, I did just have Snackverse Chef premiered on November 30th with on Netflix, and that was fun. Yeah.
Wow.
You can't win them all, but you can still entertain everyone and embarrass yourself, and that just proved it. So, that proved it.
Christian, I missed that. Did you win or I'll watch it?
I did not.
Oh, you said you can't win it all.
Can't win them all. Sometimes when they make you make Pringles from scratch without a scientific food engineering kitchen, and they just give you home appliances and say dance, you do the best you can, and a lot of times that means you just struggle. That's what it was.
I can't even imagine how you would make that. I mean, obviously I love to cook, not like you guys. I love to cook though, but to even think about, like, Pringles don't taste like a real food. Like, I mean, that's one of those snacks where you're like, I don't think it tastes like, it's like Funyuns. I don't even know how that happens. Like, I can't imagine trying to make something taste like a thing that doesn't taste like food.
It's milled potato flour.
Yeah, it literally, it's like if a baby, it's what a mama bird sticks up to a baby bird, but it's potato flour and rice flour. And then after you make it, as soon as it comes out in the shape, it's called a hyperbolic paraboloid.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly, okay. Because the average chef at home is making hyperbolic paraboloids. It took scientists 2 years to come up with this shape, and then after that, they put that methy Ozark superfine methy Breaking Bad crystal salt on the top side of the Pringle. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what the ratio of MSG to kosher salt to fleur de sel is. I don't know. I did the best I possibly could. How am I supposed to just be like, I don't know. I can't, this just proved, it humbled me, brought me back down to the level that I'm comfortable with, which is not making classic snacks for anyone. That's it.
Well, that just makes us, average, normal mortals feel like, less bad about ourselves. See,
I'm also
so
a
you
muggle.
did your fellow man a
Yeah,
good
I'm a
solid.
muggle. I'm by no means a wizard.
I'm a
I'm a
muggle.
muggle.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
I'm a
I
muggle.
am. I'm a muggle.
I'm a muggle
I'm
just
a
like
muggle just
you.
like you. I dumbly door my food sometimes, but for the most part, I'm a muggle. It's Leviosa.
That's hilarious.
You
Leviosa.
know what? I'm gonna give you my muggle right now. So I'm gonna give a little
Okay.
mix.
Okay.
Can we do
Yeah.
that? Nick? You ready? You ready,
Yep.
Louise?
Let's do the tips and tricks.
Yeah, let's do it. Since we're talking about being a witch, we're gonna give you a fun little mix for your New Year's in order to bring wealth and prosperity and help to your drinking, if you will. The new year, 2023, amazing, right? Well, a new year, maybe you're wanting a new trick. Well, I got one for you. So this is one of my favorite things to do. It's a pineapple tea. I know, right? It sounds silly, but it's so wonderful, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, which I totally love. So what you're going to do is you're going to take pineapple scraps, pineapple core, fresh pineapple, whatever you want, and you're going to take 2 cups of pineapple and you're going to put it into a bowl, or a pot actually at home. Bowl here in the studio, pot at home. You're going to need to cook this, right? I did say tea. So you're going to take that and put that in there. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take an orange. And if you watched, and you take the stickers off your oranges because that is silly. If you watched any of our other videos, you'll know that we take the oranges very seriously and we go all the way around. And I'm showing you again, I'm just kind of going very slow to make one ribbon because cleaning up is hard to do, right? Or what's that song? I'm not really sure. Anyway, put that in there. Now we're going to take 1 lemon. I happen to have a Meyer lemon. These will come into season on the East Coast or delivered to the East Coast right around now. So January, February, you should start seeing them. If you live on the West Coast of the U.S. or someplace a little bit more tropical, well, you have them all year long, so good for you. So use them more then. So we're going to take that, we're going to put that in. Again, same peel. That beautiful golden color. It just kills me every time. It smells so good already, and I haven't even done anything else to it. So now you're going to take that and you're going to put in there, I like to put 1 cinnamon stick, and I can put this all in before I add my hot water. Now, if you're doing this at home, you're going to do this in a little bit differently. You'll put everything in and you'll bring it to a boil over a medium heat, turn it off, cover it, and then use it after the sugar is dissolved. So right now we have the hot water in there, so 2 cups, and we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. You don't want sugar, don't put it in there. You love sugar, put more sugar in there. I'm going to use 1 cup to 2 cups of boiling water. And by the magic of design, this is now boiling over medium heat, right? And I said it's ready. This is when you're going to add your herbs. Now, I'm using a little bit of fresh thyme. It's delicious. I'm going to put that in. And then I'm going to use some sage. Sage is wonderful because even in the wintertime, it grows and it gets this little white fuzziness to it, even though it's not as green as it would be, say, in the summertime. It's wonderful. You're going to put that in. Again, one more time, medium heat, all dissolved. Sounds delicious. By the magic of this room, you will be left with some translucent pineapples, deliciousness, and you'll see that your peels are all see-through and lovely. And now, see me on the other side for the cocktail.
Awesome. So where are they going to go to get this tips and tricks?
You're going to go to designateddrinker.show for your tips, tricks, how to win shows according to Christain Gill. Also where to get your muggle card. When the sorting hat will happen, you're going to go to designateddrinker.show. And that's it.
Yep. And if that's too much, you can even just scroll down into your episode notes. We'll have links to all of that, and or you can hit us up on the Instas.
Oh yeah,
tell Gina what you're thinking. Yeah.
Yes, please. You can slide into my DMs. I can never say that without laughing. I don't even know. So someone slid into your DMs. I'm like, excuse me. It just sounds dirty. Just hit me up. If you have questions, let me know.
P-mix can sound dirty too. Let me give you this P-mix real quick. Oh.
I'll show you my eggs. Here's the P-mix.
You guys want to see my eggs? All right, Tina.
Do you want to see my coppery egg?
My coppery egg.
Listen, all right, for all the listeners, before the show started, I showed everybody I have chickens. If you've listened to the show, you know that I now live on a farm and I have all these chickens, and I have a Marin chicken, and they lay copper brown eggs, and I finally got a few. So it's very special for me when I get my first pullets, which is their baby eggs.
Nice.
Yes, she was exposing her eggs to us all.
I was, and we all know that it looks like when you say that, someone's like, "Why are you showing me your vibrator?" Oh, I wasn't. I was just talking about my eggs.
I mean, I was not ready. I forgot about the chickens, and so I was like, we're going for it. All right. Well, I haven't had a drink yet this year, but okay.
All right. With all this chicken talk, this brings us to the end of part 1 with celebrity chef Christain Gill, international. But if you're anything like Gina or like me, one round is just not enough. So top off that drink and get ready for part 2 of this episode as we continue our boozy banter. And Gina's going to share this delicious toast for the new year that you can add a little something or take it nice and smooth. It's up to you. The Designated Drinker Show is produced by Missing Link, a podcast media company that is dedicated to connecting people to intelligent, engaging, and informative content. Also in the Missing Link lineup of podcasts is Rodger That, a podcast dedicated to guiding you through the haze of dementia, led by skilled caregivers Bobbi and Mike Carducci. Now, if you're looking for a whole new way to enjoy the theater, check out Between Acts, an immersive audio theater podcast experience. Each episode takes you on a spellbinding journey through the works of newfound playwrights, from dramas to comedies and everything in between. Find Missing Link's League of Podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts. Please don't forget to subscribe, download, and review the shows. Your review helps our shows reach new audiences. To find out more about Missing Link, visit missinglink.company. That's missinglink.company.